Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kristeen Rouselle. I am a 19-year-old student living in Sri Lanka. I'm currently studying for my university entrance examinations in the bioscience stream. So that is just a brief introduction about me, and I hope that you are having a great day so far. So as you may already know, this is my very first podcast. I love podcasts, I have always loved podcasts and I always will love them. So I love listening to podcasts early in the morning when I'm working out, when I'm traveling, or just before I go to bed, to just relax my mind. And so I thought that I must include podcasts in my YouTube channel. So this is going to be a result of that. So in today's podcast, we are going to be talking about how to stop being lazy and start being productive, This is a topic that everyone talks about. There are so many videos about this on YouTube, on so many podcast channels. It's a topic everyone talks about, and it is also a topic that everyone kind of worries about. I mean, no one wants to be lazy, right? No one wants to be unproductive. But seriously, still, there are times when we are finding ourselves procrastinating and doing the very same things that we definitely don't want to be doing. So I'm going to give you a little backdrop on my past because I used to be a lazy student back in school. I submitted all of my homework on time, but I had this very bad habit of starting to study for an exam just a few nights before the exam was actually held. So normally this would be the worst case scenario, but luckily I have the ability to grasp and retain information really quickly. So it's kind of my superpower. I can learn things very quickly. So I think because of that, it kind of allowed me to escape any kind of awkward instance where I would get extremely low marks in my exams. But then of course, as I grew older and the content in the school curriculum became more vast, I began to slowly realize that procrastination, it does not work. So ever since then, I've been trying my best to figure out ways to stop being lazy and be productive every day. So today, I will be sharing 6 of those tips that have helped me to overcome procrastination in my life. These 6 tips are quite random and it's taken me such a long time to learn them. And there are days in my life that I still feel like I need to learn more and step my game up more. But these are the best 6 tips that I found for myself over so many years of working. So I'm going to be sharing them with you. Let's get on to the first tip. So the first tip is to figure out the things that you waste your time on. Every person on this planet is given his or her fair share of 24 hours every day. There's this famous saying every person gets 24 hours, you decide what you're going to do with it. That same 24 hours was used by somebody like Elon Musk to get to where he is. So what are you going to do with those 24 hours? We all have that same time. So when you wake up in the morning, you're given this certain period of time in that particular day to do whatever it is that you want to do. And this has led to the age-old question of why some people are able to achieve higher than the others in life. Even though both of these categories of people, both the people who are high achievers and both the other set of people who are not so high achievers, we are all given the same time frame. And it all depends on figuring yourself out. So if you find yourself waking up and straight away going and scrolling through social media, just stop. Stop for a minute and think about what you're doing. You're supposed to wake up, make your bed, go brush your teeth, and wash your face to start the day. Scrolling through social media is supposed to be done after you have your breakfast or after you get a workout in. It does not give you a good start to your day at all. In fact, it just ruins the rest of the day. All it does is drain your energy. The energy that could otherwise be used to start your day in a productive manner. So just like scrolling mindlessly through social media, there are so many bad habits that we've cultivated over the years. I don't exactly know what bad habit or habits that might be for you because it differs from person to person. So it is up to you to figure out your bad habits. There's always a certain amount of guilt that comes from doing something that you aren't supposed to be doing. Have you ever felt that? Because I have. I have felt that so many times in my life. So we have to take some time off of our schedules and figure out where our time is going for waste. What are your time wasters? You have to figure that out first of all. Once you figure that out, list them down, write them, and make sure to minimize those things as much as possible. I would personally say that the biggest mistake people make is thinking that they have enough time. Like, stop dreaming. You do not have enough time. There is so much out there that's waiting for you. The world is so enormous. You have to see it all, and you think that there is enough time. There's absolutely no time to waste. I cannot stress that point enough. Like, we say that our lives are short, right? Yeah, very short. It might seem long when we are actually living it, but time goes faster than you actually realize. You might have heard this from so much people before, but it should come from within you. You must feel that you do not have enough time. And it is only when you feel that thought, you start to work hard, you start losing that weight you've always wanted to, or you start studying for an exam that you know you're not ready for. So first of all, you have to figure out the ways that which are wasting your time. You have to figure out the ways you are wasting your own time, because nobody else but you knows what you waste your time on. The second tip is to start prioritizing what really matters. This is going hand in hand with time management. Like, all of us dream of a better life. No matter how much we already have, there's always something that we are going to want more. That's just how humans are wired. That's just how humans are. And you cannot get that dream life, your dream body, dream university, or dream job if you cannot figure out where your priorities lie. So for example, let's say you want to lose weight. So for that, you must cut off all those excess calories. And if you want to be a valedictorian, you must study hard and obtain the highest scores. If you cannot do these things, then there is no way you're going to lose that weight or become the valedictorian. Simply put, if you cannot work the way you're supposed to work to get the thing you want, you're not going to get it. No matter how much you sugarcoat it, there is absolutely no way that you're going to get to wherever you want to go if you do not put in the work that is required. That's just simple logic. If you want to be a pro athlete, you cannot skip your training sessions. You can't go to the movie theater or hang out with friends every single day. Your top priority has to be your training. So things like going to the movies or hanging out with your friends at parties, it's not going to be your priority. This definitely does not mean that these other things are unimportant. It's just giving the lesson that you must make time for those other things after you utilize the maximum amount of your time for your priorities. So just like this, whatever it might be that you want in your life, you have to prioritize it and figure out what your goal is. Prioritizing your time to match that goal, that's a skill that you have to master. So the things that you spend your time on, they are the ones that are going to determine the kind of person you are, the kind of person you're going to be in the future. And if you spend your time in the present doing the things that will actually help your future, it is more likely that you will get the future that you want to have. So say you're a student, and if you spend your time studying hard now, you would obtain a degree in a few years. If you spend your time building your business now, you're more likely to earn higher profits in the upcoming years. Simply put, people procrastinate because they have not set their priorities straight. If you know what you have to do, and if you want to get it done badly enough, you're not going to just sit around being lazy and unproductive. So if you find yourself procrastinating and doing what you're not supposed to be doing at a given time, just please take some time to yourself to prioritize what really matters to you. Take take some time. I don't care how long it takes out of your day. You have to keep a different amount of time allocated to set your priorities straight once and for all. Think about where you want to see yourself in the future and then start working towards that. The third tip is to make a to-do list every day. Once you have figured out what your time wasters are, and once you have set your priorities straight, the next important step to do is to make a to-do list. This is so important and effective at the same time. This is going to help you to see what you're supposed to be doing each day. I love making my to-do lists on the Notes app in my phone, in the Notion app, or basically just writing down on a piece of paper. So this Notion app is such a great way to put checklists and check your to-do lists and tick them off every day. I love using that app. You can download it onto your laptop or your phone. No, this is not sponsored or anything. It's just a great app that you can use to track your activities and literally everything. It's a game changer. So make sure to try that out if you haven't tried it. And there are so many other apps you can use. And if you don't want to use apps or anything like that, just take a piece of paper and write on your to-do list every day. Just taking some time to actually jot down the things you must do, that takes you one step away from being unproductive. So if you're already in the zone of making to-do lists, I'm so proud of you. Keep doing that. But here's the tough part. Making a to-do list does not mean you're going to be a productive person. When I first started making to-do lists in my life, I knew exactly what I was supposed to be doing. Like, I knew what I wanted to put in my energy and effort into throughout that day. So I was able to create a flawless to-do list. Like, every day I'd do this. But the problem came when I had to execute my plans. This was the point where I procrastinated. I think it's the point where so many people procrastinate. You actually have plans, but you do not follow them. So it is equally important as making a to-do list to execute it after you make it. For example, think of a person who has brought home ingredients in order to bake a cake. That person has taken the very first step in baking that cake, which is obtaining the required ingredients. But if that person comes home with the ingredients and does not bake and instead does other things throughout the day, it does not work. It's the same thing with to-do lists. Once you've taken the first step to overcoming procrastination, you must be ready to take the next step. You can't take one step and be like, okay, I'm going to quit here. No, you're not going to do that. You are going to go from one step to the other. So you must execute that to-do list. There is absolutely no use of making a to-do list or a schedule if you're not willing to follow it accordingly. So if you've listed down 5 things to be done before today ends, you should have done all of those things by the time you go to bed. In case you have not done any one of those things, it means that you have procrastinated at some point of your day. So when I realized that I was not executing my to-do list or my schedule properly, I incorporated some things into my routine that really helped me to be more productive. The first thing that I did was set reminders on my phone so I would not forget what I was supposed to be doing. This is such a classic move, but it saves you a lot of time and gives you a reminder of what you're supposed to be completing. So the next thing I did was reward myself whenever I completed a task. Who does not love a good reward, right? So for example, after 2 hours of studying, I would allow myself to scroll through social media for 10 minutes, just 10, no more, before I got to my next task. Simple things like this, it can just help you to stop being unproductive and actually start implementing your to-do lists. So make a to-do list or schedule that fits your goals. It should fit your goals and you have to work accordingly to it. And you have to reward yourself when you get things done. Appreciate yourself for trying and working so hard on yourself. The fourth tip is to keep track of your activities. This is so important, and I simply cannot stress on how much this affects your lifestyle. Let's face reality. If you're someone who isn't familiar with the concept of sticking to to-do lists and is still a beginner, the first few months are going to be hard for you. You're in for a hard few months. You're going to have so many days where you are unable to complete all of those things in your to-do list. So you must ask yourself, where did my time go during the day? When did I procrastinate and why? It is only when you really think deeply about the answers to these questions that you actually start to figure out where you are spending your time on. I too was once a beginner. I was such a big beginner to the concept of to-do lists, and I had these same problems. It's common to all of the people who are starting out on something. You're bound to have problems in the beginning. So the only thing that helped me to identify where I spent my time on was tracking my activities. I first learned about tracking when I read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. It is such a life-changing book, and I highly recommend all of you to read it. If you want to achieve great things in life, that is one great book you must read. In this book, Mr. Darren Hardy is explaining about how tracking your activities can be done. The process is so simple. You simply have to keep tabs on every single thing that you're going to be doing during your day. You can do this on your phone, on your laptop, or your tab. Or you can just simply take a piece of paper and just start tracking the things down. I personally like to keep a small book for tracking. So how are you supposed to track your activities? How are you going to know how to write these things down? What are you going to do in order to track them? You are simply going to have to write down everything that you're doing in a certain selected time period. You can update your tracker every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or even 1 hour. I like to update my tracker every 30 minutes. So at the end of the day, you must evaluate what you've spent your time on, and then you can put a positive, a plus sign in front of the good things that you did throughout the day. That could be getting a workout in, making a healthy meal, replying to your emails, or even studying for your finals. But that plus sign should go in front of whatever has helped you to get a bit closer to your goals within the day. And then what are we going to do for the negative things? For those, you have to put a negative or a minus sign in front of the things that you did, even though you know that you should not have done them. So all of the negative things you did, all of the things that are going to harm your future, you're going to put a negative in front of them. Now, for example, this could be scrolling through social media too much, binge watching your favorite TV series without doing your homework, or even eating an unhealthy meal. So basically, anything that has deviated you from your main goals is considered negative. Then you must work to reduce those negative things from your daily activities. Now you might think that, oh my god, it's a lot of work to write all of that down, and you're going to be doing this for every 30 minutes, and then you have to evaluate it at the end of the day. It's a long process, but trust me, it is so rewarding. Continue this for 1 week, and I promise you that you will begin to see the results. The fifth tip is not actually a tip, but a fact. It is to be consistent. Anything that's worth having takes time. So when things take a long time to achieve, they become more valuable. So of course, your goals are very expensive because you're dealing with time. So when you have a big goal, you must always break it down into smaller chunks. This makes it easier for you to achieve things in a methodical manner. But the tricky part actually comes in when you have to follow the routines to achieve those small goals. And these are the routines that will eventually lead you to your main goal. And in order to do this successfully, you must be consistent. Consistency is a crucial factor when it comes to achieving things successfully. Like, for example, if you want to pass an exam well, you have to revise your lecture notes on a daily basis. If you want to lose weight or if you want to gain weight, you have to train your body in a suitable manner for a long period of time. Most people tend to stop doing things consistently because it takes a long time to see the results. I've had so many times in my life where I have questioned my life choices along the way, and I have felt so down at so many points of my life, but remembering why I started has always helped me to keep going and be consistent. If you are forgetting your why, here is your reminder to remind that to yourself. Always remember your why. The sixth and the last tip is to just start. Just start. Like, seriously, if you're struggling to get tasks done, just start. The best thing to overcome procrastination is starting. If you're unsure of how to start, you can use the 5-minute rule. This rule states that you're going to do whatever it is that you keep postponing for just 5 minutes. The theory behind this is simple. You give yourself an extremely small task that can be achieved by anyone, and you're going to do it. It is most likely that you will keep on doing it for more than 5 minutes after you start. So if you're feeling like you don't want to study, you're going to say to yourself, you're going to tell yourself, you're going to go and sit at your table and you're going to open your book and study for just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes, no long. But when these 5 minutes end, it is so much more likely that you'll keep on studying and you'll get into the flow. The same goes out if you want to get in a workout. You're going to just start working out. This could be a simple stretching you're going to do. It could be raising some weights. You're going to do it for only 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. You have 24 hours and you're going to take 5 minutes to do that task. And you're going to keep on doing it most likely. So these are the 6 tips that I am giving you so that you can stop being lazy. Stop being procrastinators and start being productive. Procrastination is your enemy. Always, always remember that. The sooner you realize that, the better. So write these tips down or save this video to remind these tips to yourself whenever you feel lazy. If you watched till the end of this podcast, make sure to comment productive me in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel for more vlogs and podcasts. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast and I hope you have a wonderful day. See you in the next one.